Tony rolled out of bed every morning to the shrill alarm, not because he was eager, but because he had to. The routine was on autopilot: splash water on his face, grab a rushed breakfast, then fight traffic just to clock in on time. He answered emails, sat through endless meetings, and pushed paper until the sun went down. He was solid. Steady. Responsible. The kind of man everyone could count on. But deep inside, Tony felt like something was missing, like he was living on repeat. It wasn't depression. It wasn't burnout, not exactly. It was that quiet, nagging feeling that life was happening somewhere else, and he wasn't invited. He thought that was normal. That the 9-to-5 struggle was simply part of being an adult. That sacrifice today would magically lead to comfort tomorrow. But the longer he waited for that tomorrow, the more he realized it might never come. Slowly, the cracks in Tony's routine began to show. Sure, he paid the bills. The rent was covered. Groceries were stocked. But he was just surviving. After expenses, there was barely anything left. No money to invest. No capital to start something new. No time or energy to dream. His job didn't reward potential, it only paid for presence. He clocked in and out like a machine. Every dollar was taxed. Every raise, marginal. He was stuck in a cycle that looked like stability, but felt like a trap. That's the trap many employees don't even realize they're in. We're taught to believe our job will make us wealthy if we just wait long enough. But waiting isn't a wealth strategy. Salaries don't compound. Overtime doesn't scale. And the higher you climb, the fewer rungs there are. Promotions become scarce. Raises barely match inflation. At best, you maintain your life. At worst, you burn out while building someone else's dream. Tony believed for a long time that hard work would eventually open doors. That loyalty would lead to abundance. But after a decade of grinding, he looked around and realized nothing had changed. His bank account was respectable, not remarkable. He had no assets, no side income, no exit strategy. Just a steady paycheck that disappeared as fast as it came. He was comfortable, but not free. Then one evening, everything shifted. It was his daughter's school recital. She'd been rehearsing for weeks. He promised he'd be there. But at the last minute, his boss asked him to stay late. Just one meeting, they said. But that one meeting cost him the moment. He arrived just as the final applause faded. His daughter's eyes scanned the room and landed on the empty chair beside his wife. Tony smiled through it, but something broke inside him. He wasn't just missing an event. He was missing life. That was the real cost of his job, not just stress or exhaustion, but stolen time. Stolen presence. And in that quiet, painful moment, he realized being a good employee had made him a ghost in his own story. That night, he sat in silence. His laptop was off. His phone on mute. And he thought about what mattered. Not the title. Not the paycheck. But the time. The memories. The milestones he would never get back. That's when he saw her, Helen. His colleague. Once just as drained, just as stuck. But something about her had changed. She seemed lighter. More focused. Happier. Curious, Tony asked what was different. Helen didn't quit her job. She didn't win the lottery. She started waking up early. Not for work, for herself. She used those hours to learn a new skill. She listened to finance podcasts on her commute. She cut down on expenses. She built a tiny digital product on weekends and sold it online. No office. No overhead. Just her laptop and an idea. Slowly, her side income grew. She wasn't chasing some fantasy of passive income. She was building practical freedom. A second stream that gave her choices. Flexibility. Autonomy. She said something Tony never forgot: freedom doesn't come from quitting, it comes from building. Inspired, Tony stopped making excuses. He let go of the beliefs that held him back. I'm not good with money became I can learn. I don't have enough to start became I can start small. Risk is scary became calculated risk is necessary. He started slow. Canceled and used subscriptions. Cooked more at home. Took a free online course about freelancing. Created a basic website. Reached out to 2 clients. It wasn't sexy. It wasn't fast. But it was real. Weeks turned into months. His side hustle began covering groceries. Then his rent. Eventually, it bought him back his evenings. He negotiated reduced hours at work. Used the extra time to double down on his project. For the first time, he felt like he was building something that was his. He wasn't alone. Across the world, employees are waking up to the same truth. Your job isn't the endgame. It's capital. Financial capital. Skill capital. Emotional capital. Use it to build. Don't wait for a raise, raise your value. Don't wait to be picked, pick yourself. Start where you are, with what you have. Because tired of the 9 to 5? That's valid. But the way out isn't to run, it's to rise. Your job won't make you wealthy because time doesn't scale. Assets do. Hard work for 10 years without strategy? That's not loyalty, it's a life sentence. The real cost of the grind isn't just burnout, it's missing what matters most. And the breakthrough? It doesn't come from quitting your job on a whim. It comes from building something stronger beside it. So ask yourself, what's your recital moment? What are you missing right now, thinking you're doing the right thing? What do you really want time for? Define it. Feel it. Let that why pull you forward. Because once you're clear on why you want freedom, the how becomes obvious. And every small move becomes a step closer to the life you actually want. You don't have to quit tomorrow. You just have to start today. Start learning. Start building. Start saving. Start trying. Burnout fades when purpose takes over. Wealth grows when strategy begins. And freedom arrives when you decide it's time. If you're ready to break free from the cycle, from the paycheck to paycheck drag, from the quiet fear that you'll never get your time back, this is your moment. Subscribe to Break Free Financially. Not just for content, but for a new mindset, a new plan, a new you. Your future doesn't have to look like your past. Your journey to freedom starts right now.